hot mic this.
Um,
All
he
right.
ended up giving me
I
like
think we're
part of
back.
his food that the cook made, and I was like, "Yes, give me your pasta." And he was like, "You said it was like beef stroganoff, but not beef." And I was like, "I don't fucking care. Give it to me."
Right back. We're back. Right.
So that was cool.
Charlie's just getting hammered, stealing people's food.
And then he didn't
Happens.
charge me for one of my beers, and I completely
There
forgot.
we go.
And he was like, "Does that look good?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, it does." And I didn't remember until like I was almost home. Oh, wait a minute.
I didn't pay him.
He didn't charge me for one of those beers. I
Yeah.
completely forgot.
Fell off the truck.
Fuck yeah, drinking for free, stealing food.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Well,
It's all right. So
stealing,
we
it
are
was
back. For
given.
some reason.
And
Oh.
my Guinness was stale, and he was like, "I'll take it off your tab. I'll take it from you. It's fine." And I was almost done with it by the time I said something to him about it.
A stale Guinness.
And that's why you be nice to people, especially bartenders.
So you're a Guinness gal. Do you
And
go
you
black and
be-
tan or just full blown Guinness?
A moderately attractive female. That's all you need.
So we're back.
Damn, one of those.
Sorry,
days
we
happened to me.
for some reason it didn't decide to pick up our
I
microphones.
mean, it's not
but-
that hot.
Oh, we can't hear Bill.
You can't hear me now? What the fuck?
Oh no, now yeah, I can't hear Bill now.
See him talking away. I think he started the show.
Fuck. Oh no. Oh no. What have I said?
Well, you guys go, and I'll get this sorted out. Why? All right, you should hear me now.
But why would we not hear Bill now?
Can you hear me now? God damn
Yeah, I
it.
can hear you.
There we go. All right. Well, for everybody that just watched that shit show go down, first YouTube couldn't hear the audio, so I reset everything. And then kept telling them that we're going live and just figured since Charlie has been day drinking, she was just talking over me, but it turns out she just couldn't fucking hear me. So
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I'm not that fucking crazy. You know, I would have shut the fuck up if you were like, hey, bitch.
well, it's a solid start to episode 75. So
But I mean, you know, shout out to my bartender, Aaron. He said that he was gonna tune in, and he told me to give him a shout out. So, like, what better
is it
of a way to
is it
introduce that?
Aaron Aaron?
Sure.
Or is it
Yes.
E Aaron?
E is usually for females, I thought.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how this guy rolls.
Yeah, like E, I thought was like the female Aaron, probably like
I'm-
more of like an Irish. But then Aaron, like my sister's name is Aaron, but it's Aaryn, which is
Oh.
not common.
I
But
met a dude with Eiren.
Yeah. Huh.
really,
I think that's how you spell it. I don't know. I just know his name was Aaron with an E.
I thought that was more for like females, but
I mean, he was
What the
white
fuck
and his parents were
going
like
on
real
with it?
hippie-ish, so who knows?
So
well, it's just kind of like Leslie and Ashley were men's names once upon a time, so it's probably one of those things.
yeah, I mean, I went to school with a guy whose name was Carol.
Yeah, my uncle's name was that.
Yeah. And he went by his middle name of Justin. So
Yeah, no, Ashley's still like a pretty common name amongst some like ethnic groups.
Ashley.
Yeah, Native
Yeah.
Americans.
I worked with a guy it was my first job, so I was 16. But he was in his 30s, and his first name was Ashley. So some people keep that within their families, and it's just kind of like, you have a boy named Sue. Congratulations, honey. Like,
Right.
what have you? He's never going to accept this because of society, but it was a prominent male's name, just like Leslie Nielsen. When you hear that, like I never thought, oh, that's a girl's name when I heard Leslie Nielsen because of how fucking funny he is. It's like, yes, that man. And then you have like Ashley from Gone with the Wind.
You ever think there'll be like some chick named Mike?
Yeah, Michelle Obama.
Dude, no, Euro Trip.
Mike.
Oh yeah, Mikkel.
Micah.
Mika.
Micah.
Well, I mean, there's
Some
probably
fucking pervert named Mike.
do you think there's like a trans person that like transitioned but kept their male name so that like they don't
Dylan
risk being
Mulvaney.
dead named?
Dylan.
Speaking of him, right before we went on, I actually put this in the notes. I guess he is leaving the country because he has to leave in order to feel safe.
I heard
That's a
something
whole
about
lot
that,
of
but I
mental illness.
didn't. It's probably like some fucking vacation that he's getting
Right.
paid for.
But yeah, it's like, okay, unless you're going to maybe like France, not even France, like good luck. Like
I'm going to the
I
United
know
Arab
people talk a
Emirates.
lot of shit about America and how we handle like race and sexual genders. Go to Europe. They're the most racist fucking people on earth. Or like if he goes to South
Well,
America, they're just
Marcus,
gonna kick the shit out of him.
it's not
It's
like
like, let's just go where
Asia.
white people were invented.
Okay.
You know, like
I'd put my money on Asia being the most racist.
Asia.
I mean, there's Thailand.
Asia. I mean, yeah, a lot of those Asian countries, but I think they're like really just mainly racist against each other, right?
Oh yeah.
Like East Asian.
How many of them are there? I mean, come on, majority rules.
I mean, they think they're white, so.
You know,
Yeah. Oh no.
but I
they
mean that's
are-
true. They
are
don't even
very
like. They look
they
down
are
on you if you're tan.
awful towards the Southern Asian population. They awful. Northern Asians are fucking. It's
Oh, yeah.
bad. I've heard stories, which is how I know. Holy fucking shit. And like you said, amongst each other. Like I've heard a South Korean talk about Japanese, and holy
Mhm.
fucking shit. That was the craziest thing I've ever experienced
Oh,
in
yeah.
a restaurant.
Oh yeah, hear a Chinese person talk about a Filipino.
Oh yeah, the Philippines is like the Mexico of Asia.
Yeah, they're the lazy
Well, like-
Asians apparently.
Koreans have a reason to shit on the Japanese because they enslaved them. So this guy literally started talking about his father being shipped on a cattle train full of men and how his father jumped off of it, and that's literally how that guy is alive today because he refused to become a slave for Japan. And it's just like, holy fucking shit, dude.
Oh yeah, Japan is like the ultimate evil.
Like
Oh yeah,
like it's
yeah.
just
They
kinda stuff
definitely
that,
they
like,
earned those nukes. You mean,
we don't hear a lot about those stories in public school in West Texas.
It's because Japan's sorry, guys.
so-
But then, like, he boasted about his white wife, and I thought that was fucking hilarious. And he was like a master in Muay Thai, and had like the one of the like the father of the kids I was with was a champion in Muay Thai, and so like this guy had lived an incredible life, and like him just being like, my great accomplishment is having a white wife.
yeah. Yeah, guess who bagged him a white woman?
Where the white women at?
I mean that is I mean
Right.
that is impressive
Right.
seeing how he probably has a really small penis.
Well, so that's the thing. I think that was like a huge propaganda, especially from like the Vietnam era. um, to a point, especially with the Southern Asian. Once again, you get, like you have people hating on them, but it's like they also have a reputation for having bigger wieners.
Yeah, but I feel like if there's one that had any sort of like big dick, like it'd be in porn, right? How many Asians do you see in porn that are actually like rocking a hammer?
None.
You know, and they blur it all out too, and I think that's just out of
Mm,
shame for
how
how
big
small
is
it is.
the Asian porn industry, though?
Pretty big.
That's male.
It's
Well,
huge.
it's pretty big.
Makes you
Male?
feel better about yourself.
I would imagine, like, when you get deep down into it, like the real
Well, yeah,
Asian,
but wouldn't they go with the trope of having tiny wieners? And so, like, that's kind of
they're probably
like
like being shamed by like
the
some woman, like, you know,
stereotype.
some little Japanese woman, like, "Ee," doing the little
Like
giggle.
BBC,
Huh.
it's the little Asian wiener.
I mean, speaking of BBCs, you guys see Adam 22 like really is all in for his wife fucking a black dude.
Who's Adam 22?
You
Are
know
we
Lena the
really
Plug?
fucking surprised that a porn star's fucking a porn star?
I mean,
What?
he's like really excited about it. He's been like really into his wife.
An American
getting drilled.
YouTuber.
Yeah, because people are trying to shit on him for being a cuck and whatnot, and it's just kind of like
Yeah.
they're porn stars. They're doing porn star shit.
Oh.
But granted, he did go on Flagrant, and he was like, "I don't want her having any donkey dick." And now it's like, well,
Oh yeah, here's a picture with his wife with that big tattooed porn star I see in a bunch of stuff.
but at the same time, it's like they're porn stars doing what porn stars do.
Do they do
Are
porn?
we
Because it says here
going?
he's a YouTuber.
Yeah, no, they do porn with each other and other women. This is like her first scene with like another dude that's not him.
Yeah,
Oh.
they have
I
podcasts.
didn't know his wife is
So-
Lena the Plug. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that tracks now. I didn't know that. I don't know. I didn't know
They
who he
have
was.
the podcast. They do the podcast with the girl, and then they do porn with her. But it's like she's always been a porn star. But I guess everybody's making a huge deal because apparently they just got married legitimately 10 days ago, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
she,
yeah.
and then she had this video come out, and it's just kind of like they probably got married for like tax reasons or some shit like that, like legally married for tax reasons or some shit like that. And this had been planned for a long time. Like it,
Yeah,
once
especially because No
again,
Jumper's like really big.
it well did it well once again like so I heard about this on Andrew Schultz, like to bring him up about talking about the donkey dick, and then this Angie was saying apparently No Jumper is imploding. That like everyone left. There's like all the producers, everyone who hosted fucking bounced, so it's over. And
I don't think I've ever watched. I maybe watched like clips of it that Charlie. I think maybe you've sent me before.
with Orlin,
Yeah.
whatever her name
some-
is, that
yeah.
the girl who slept with 500 men.
Yeah, that chick who's just literally like can't walk down the street without fucking somebody.
Well, she was. I mean, she was a prostitute too. So it's like when it's
Well,
your
yeah,
job,
so that tracks.
How
Yeah.
awful. Where is she?
Yeah. You don't want
and-
any
and
part
she's
of
a
this.
Texas girl.
I'm DG4L. I'm Dirty Girls for Life, but this chick, I think you halfway through you just get depressed because you know like it's dimly
been
lit.
through some
It's
shit.
dimly lit in there, you know.
She was on Soft White Underbelly, so like she's been through some shit if she was on that podcast.
Oh yeah, that's a rough one.
But I've watched some shit on No Jumper. This is a little controversial. I like Sharp. He's like a literal pimp. And has gotten into little arguments and confrontations with women, and like that's not always cool. But sometimes I like, when he talks to people and the questions he asks, and like how he was with that Orlin chick. He was like, "Girl, you've gone far enough with the body modifications because like she has fangs and like jewels on her teeth and like her eyes are tattooed out and like like all kinds of tattoos, and like she just looks wild." And he was like, "Be good with that. Like you're a beautiful girl, you don't need to do this." And she was
Like,
like,
hey, yo,
"What?"
girl, chill.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
And
eventually the
she was like,
Johns ain't going to be coming around anymore if you be looking like that, you know?
well, no, not necessarily that, but she was like, I'm doing this because of like a trauma response of a man who treated her terribly and who like prized her beauty. And so she wants to like ruin it. And he was like,
Go to therapy.
Yeah,
don't. Yeah.
I feel like
Like,
I feel like if you've grown enough to recognize that you're doing that because of that, you can recognize and find ways to get yourself out of that.
to a point, it's a lot easier said than done. But, a lot of people would be like, "Oh girl, you just do what you should do." And I like, it's just kind of like this guy, like yes, he's a pimp and yes, he has a questionable background, but this girl needed to be told like you are fine the way that you are.
I mean, it's only wrong if he slaps her, right?
You don't need to do this anymore. And because she kept saying like she wanted to get like horns or some shit like that, and he was like, no, 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 don't
Oh yeah,
do that.
people go fucking nuts. We used to watch. Me and my wife used to watch Botched all the time, and like there are people come
Oh,
in there like, what the? And even they'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, no, we are not going to do this for you. Like,
Those are the people that are like addicted to plastic surgery, right?
yes, yeah. Some of those cases were wild and
like the
scary,
human
scary
Ken doll was
things.
one of them.
Oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah,
There was like one chick who wanted to look like an alien, and then it's always like there's always
yeah.
the one who like already has like boobs that make no sense on anybody, and they just want them bigger. They're like, we can't. Like they
Mhm.
don't even make them that big.
It's like you got this done in a different country
Uh,
already. Get out of here. But, they need it for the show, so they're going to bring these wild cases in, but
yeah.
no respectable doctor is going to touch that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like
I mean, wasn't the whole point like to correct South American surgeries that went wrong? Like, isn't
pretty
that how it
much. It
started?
was about like
I
yeah,
don't know
people getting
about
their
that.
botched plastic surgeries fixed.
I don't know if it was necessarily, I don't, well, like, I don't know if they would say where they would get things done at. Maybe some people might, but it might depend. I don't know. It's been a long time since I watched that show. But it would be some wild cases sometimes. Every now and then it would just be like some regular shit that was like, oh yeah,
Hmm.
like this poor girl's tits looks awful, and then they
Oh
would
yeah.
fix them. And it's like they look great now. This is yay.
One of her tits is naturally an A cup, the other one's naturally a C cup. We're gonna fix that.
Yeah. I also love the one like even me, like I'm not a jealous person, but I still find it somewhat humorous that like it'll be yeah, like some woman who like had like a bad boob job, then ended up having like have a mastectomy or something, or like whatever, just like a boob job, and the one doctor, like the husband will be in the room, and the one doctor is just like sitting there like messing with her boobs the whole time, and the husband's just like, yep, and then the other doctor, the kind of like slick haired one who doesn't know his stuff, is in
Hmm.
there for whatever reason. It's like, oh, boob job. I'll come in and give you a second opinion. You know.
I am also a plastic surgeon.
Mm.
Let me go fondle them strange chitties real quick so we can see what to do
Cause
with
I
them.
like it like, oh, these feel good. It's like, oh, let me. Yes, those do feel good. Good job, doctor. Like, I'm pretty sure the one's gay though, the blonde
I
one.
mean, even then, like if you're a plastic
He's
surgeon,
a
you have to be
wife.
desensitized to titties.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine like especially at that level when you're like probably like doing like boobs on some of the most gorgeous people on the planet, and you're also like the best boob guy. Like at that point, you just probably walk around like how I am now with like t-shirts doing screen printing. Like I just walk around and just like judge every shirt I see. And just
It's
like
like looking at
walking
everyone's
around. It's like,
tits.
his wife's like one day was probably like, oh, like he comes in one day and his wife's like got another naked chick in the bed. Like, oh, I figured for your birthday we'd have a threesome. And he's just like, her boobs are garbage. Get her out of here.
Yeah, he gives her his card. Come
Yeah.
to me when you want those
He's like,
fixed.
You went
we'll
to
get
so
those.
and so.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
We'll get those get those fixed and then come back. in
But
6
by
to
then
8
I'll have
weeks.
seen them like 40 times.
Only prefers naturals.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably is. He's just like, and not even natural at this point. Like it's just gotten super dark, and he's just into like really bad ones, like some like
Saggy granny
yeah, it's like
titties.
some super ski slope danglers, like
It's like something he never sees at all. So it's
some chick
just,
who already had like some pretty low hanging D's and popped out a couple kids and breastfed him and then just never did anything with him ever since. And it's just like he's like
oh, those
yes,
are rough.
Ones you can really just throw over your shoulder.
yeah.
Like,
He's just like,
do your
like
titties
yeah.
hang low? Do they wobble to and flow?
He just has them like he just pays women like with bad boobs to like send him videos of almost like the feet thing, but like rubbing their tits across like a plate of baked beans or something, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Womb naturals over bolt-ons. Fun fact: I've never, as far as I know, had a like actual like hands-on experience with fake boobs. Like I've been to a strip club, but I mean you're not really touching on the boobs there too much. At least I'm not rich enough to. So I mean, so I don't know. It's been all natties for me. So again, as far as I'm aware, if some of them were fake, then they were pretty good, I guess, because I couldn't tell the difference, or I was really drunk, which could also be the case. I don't know.
And I've had some fake ones in my face, and like it was a little too hard. It wasn't natural.
Well, isn't that a difference? Isn't there like the difference in like the saline and then the silicone? Aren't the silicone ones like the traditional, like kind of hard ones?
Not necessarily. Some people say that. I think it just depends on the person. It depends on the size. It depends on a lot of things. I've
Womb just came up with the T-shirt idea: quality over
Quality?
quantity.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start a website that just like is womb raider phrases when he's fucking fucked up.
Womb-isms.
Womb-isms. And,
Under muscle versus over.
and then it's gonna like explode, and I'm just gonna have him like chained up in a room, just like force feeding him mushrooms. Like I need more ideas.
I don't think you would mind that.
I'm not sure many doctors do over the muscle anymore unless it's like specifically asked, because under the muscle is a lot better chances of no capsular contraction, which is what makes them like the rock hard.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot of American doctors go under.
Under the muscle.
They use smooth, and so like um,
It's like
for
tying a shoe.
smooth implants, you actually have to continuously have a pocket under, when you do them under, so they don't get the capsular contracture on them. So you have to massage them, which is literally moving the implant. You move it up, down, side to side. And then more European doctors use what's called like texturized implants, and you don't do that because they actually adhere to the surrounding tissues, even if it's under the muscle. And it's a more newer technological
Hmm.
advancements, but shockingly, doctors in the US don't like change. So
Hey,
many doctors
It's like tying a
here
shoe. That
still
pacemaker titty,
use-
all right?
Do you think there'll ever
So-
be a? What about this? Instead of fake boobs, what if somebody got a boob transplant? It was like a boob donor. You know,
Them
like
grandma titties off her body.
some chick just got like perfect boobs, and like on her organ donor cards, like if I die, give my boobs to a small-breasted chick in need, and like they wheel her in, and you get a phone call, like you're some chick with flat-chested chick on the wait list. You get a phone call, it's like we have a donor, we need you in right now, and like
Okay,
They got some nice titties.
They life
I'm gonna
light her
stop
in.
you right there. Titties aren't organs. So fat transfers usually only work when it's your own fat.
Well, I mean, same
which
with
is
organs,
what.
though, right? It has to match. You
cut
got to
them
make
bitches
sure the
off.
boobs
Just
match,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I said. Titties aren't organs. Okay,
You're
so
really
like,
wrecking
let's
what I'm trying to
fucking
come up with here,
stop
Charlie.
that.
All right.
I'm with
They
Will. I'm
aren't
with Will.
organs.
It's just like, or Bill. I'm like, oh my god.
Okay, so it's like a BBL. BBLs are fat liposuction from different parts of your body, usually your waistline, your midsection, into your ass. They
Yeah.
do fat transfers for your titties too. Yes, so
Well, I
that
knew the
is a
BBL
thing.
thing. That's why I've been gaining weight lately because I'm having that done later this year. But
Imagine if Lizzo like got all the fat sucked from her body into her titties and her
can you
ass.
can you imagine how many flat-chested women could have boobs if Lizzo would just give up some of that fucking fat?
Yeah, that selfish
That's not
bitch.
how adipose tissue works. So let's not do that.
No, no, no. I'm pretty sure that's how
It
it works.
only
Damn it,
and even
Lizzo.
like fat necrosis is a huge risk when it comes to these things, which is why it's not super duper prevalent, which is why it's probably more prevalent today because there's better technologies than there were, even 5 years ago.
Well, then you hear about people
So
getting like cement injected into their face and shit.
yeah, that was a fucking thing, especially to their ass. Yeah, that was a thing.
And there's those
But
guys that was doing the stuff into their muscles and shit in Russia.
mhm. Yeah, fat necrosis is a
Synthol.
huge risk, which is why you usually cannot use someone else's adipose tissue because your body's going to reject it. It's not going to have the blood supply that it needs to stay alive, which is why your own tissue has a better chance, but even then it still has a high risk of that fat necrosis, which means your body fails to supply it with blood,
Well,
which is
Charlie, you totally just crushed my dreams
In our dreams, it will
about
always be the way we want it to be.
about having boob donors out there. Good, kind-hearted people with nice boobs that if anything bad would happen to them, they would like to donate those nice boobs to a flat-chested woman in need. But I do
no.
also think to be on the donor list, for one,
You
you
have
do
to
have to be
keep those
flat
titties.
chested, but you also have to be like pretty. You can't be an ugly flat chested person and get nice titties. Like, no. You
I
gotta buy
mean,
them.
it's
Sorry.
just kind of like a big dicked man dying, and it's just kind of like we can't waste
Exactly.
this big dick on this
Can you
man. We
imagine?
gotta
Could you imagine how that would help
give
the
it.
world?
Yeah, no, like say you're like 19 and you have a huge fucking hog and you die. You want that to go to someone who's gonna use it for the next
Some dude,
65 years.
some like 40-year-old dude who's been living his life, like can't get laid because he's like 40 with this terrible dick. All of a sudden now he gets some like 19-year-old's fucking massive hammer. And not only is it big, but it's also like still in good shape. You know?
In a
Yeah, no, it's like pretty
perfect
much new.
world.
And then like testicle transplants for somebody who's like lost a testicle before, like saying like I don't know, skateboard accident,
Like a Lance Armstrong.
a tree
So a
climbing
lot of
accident.
guys have lost testicles. That is not an uncommon thing.
I knew somebody who, I don't think he lost them, but he was climbing a tree in soccer shorts and slipped and fell down the tree and like, part of one of the branches caught hold of his sack and ripped it open. And he had like walk back and like into his house like holding his nut, like his actual like exposed testicles in his hands.
Like that old rhyme, like Tarzan, Monkey Man.
Yeah.
Swinging from a rubber band, he slips, he falls, he's hanging from his balls.
So I mean that's
It
pretty
happens.
traumatic.
But just know.
But if science would actually medical community would put effort into non-organ transplants such as boobs and testicles and penises and butts and buttholes, like I mean, so they say
Dude,
somebody's
Whitney
like
Hope
say
Solo's
some like
butthole.
hot chicks had a bout of Crohn's or something. And her butthole's just wrecked, but she wants to do an OnlyFans. She can't do that with a wrecked butthole. She can get
I mean-
a butthole donor to,
She could be one of those like
Imagine how different
girls
Hope
with, like,
Solo's
the
nudes would have been
disconnected
if somebody had donated her a nice butthole.
I mean, to be 100% fair, someone with a red asshole might have a better chance at making more money
On
than someone with
OnlyFans?
just a regular run-of-the-mill asshole.
I was gonna say, like, if she's got that Crohn's and she's got the disconnected asshole, it's always gonna be cleaned because she's got that colostomy bag, you know?
Well, and as Charlie has told us, the colostomy bag, like that colostomy port, now you're talking about a real moneymaker.
She's got like 4 holes on her, bro.
You be out in the streets pimping out that hole.
So many holes.
I mean, I've seen
There's
a
only
chick.
one more introduced, but that's a lot of holes.
I saw a chick in high school getting the airtight skier one time at a party. But if she had a colostomy hole, there could have been a 6th guy in there. I
Whoa.
mean, now you're talking about like, if you're like
Not
hourly
wrong.
rate per person, you got 6 guys at once, man, you're racking in the big bucks. You're making like, I don't know, $30, $40 an hour.
Plus, if we're gonna keep going with the whole transplant thing, just get like your feet replaced with hands. So you
Yeah.
could like
Oh.
do like foot stuff with your hands.
You like, walk around like a little, like, you look like a monkey at that point.
Be able to jerk people off with 4 hands.
Would you wear gloves then for shoes? Or would you just still wear
No,
shoes?
You got to get those like creepy ass toe shoes.
I think you'd still wear shoes, like normal shoes, because then, like, it's the awe factor. Like, you're never going to believe this shit. And somebody's like, what, you got, like, webbed feet or something? Like, no, I have hands for feet. Ugh.
Would you just train your feet to curl around?
No, 'cause
You gotta
need
have
the,
big
like,
ass
the long
toes, though.
fingers.
You can do that. Well, yeah, that's like
Now that's just weird. All right.
You know. Yeah, the hole that the smokers have in their neck. Yeah, you missed that episode. It's called blowholing, and that's a thing. the tracheotomy hole. Yeah. But I will say though, with that one, I mean, I guess with there's a will, there's a way, because I mean, I've seen some stuff on the internet where something that big should not fit inside an orifice the size of a butthole, but she makes it work. So I'd imagine like the trachea holes are pretty small, but I guess I don't know. You lube that bitch up enough force.
It's
It's
not
going
enough, though, if you know what I mean.
You fuck it so good, she starts talking right again. Gives a solid seal so you hear her real voice.
Yeah. Yeah, just like she's got a beautiful singing voice, but only when there's a cock in her throat hole.
Gives whole new meaning to you look so much cuter with something in your mouth.
Next thing you know, she finds out she sings like Adele, so she has to go like she does like American Idol, but she has to like put a dildo in her throat the whole time she's singing. Charlie's fading fast.
I hate this so much. Yes, I hate this.
Well, so then I thought about this today. Like when you have like that really, really hard nut and you go a little bit retarded for a second? Is it the other way for retarded people? Like, do they come and they're like I like math.
I don't want to think about retarded people coming, so like I'm just not going.
Hey, they're people too, all right?
Yeah, I understand that. And I don't think about other fucking people coming either. So
They love to fuck.
as
just like
I
all of us.
treat everyone else, I will treat them the same. And I'm not gonna fucking think about that.
Ice Spice deserves love too, all right?
Would you break up with a guy if he had like a terrible like orgasm face / noise?
He goes full on Leonardo DiCaprio.
Honey, I haven't broken up with people for putting their dick in other women's vaginas. Do you think that's gonna
I
be
don't know.
something that stops?
I think that was a question for the audience. Like, say you for the ladies out there and the guys that are into guys, I guess.
Woom, what if she does like the ugliest fucking... Woom, what do you think about this?
The situation.
Or like, have you ever seen? We talked about this before. Bad Teacher, the scene where like Justin Timberlake's like dry humping Cameron Diaz from behind. He's like, almost there, almost there, almost
Oh,
there,
yeah.
almost
Oh,
there.
my God.
And she's like, yeah. And he's like, be quiet, almost there, almost there. And then he's like,
Just chipmunks it.
yeah.
Be quiet.
That scene always fucks me up because they're like, I didn't date this one girl. Like, it just she was at my house. Like I was like had her over, thought we were gonna hook up, and she's like, "Oh, I want to hook up." I was like, "Yeah, dope." And then she's like I really like would like it if you dry humped me from behind. I was like, "Huh?" She's like, "With our jeans on." I'm like, "Huh?"
That
So I
ain't it.
mean, I did
I need to
it.
get it wet. I need to get it wet.
So I mean, totally did it, thinking it was going somewhere else, like it end up going somewhere. And then she was just like all of a sudden just kind of like,
Did you at
and
least
like
get it
got up
wet?
and went to the bathroom. She's like, "That was awesome." I was like,
What
what?
just happened?
What the fuck just happened? And she's like, I get crazy.
Oh,
She's like, I get so
no.
crazy when I drink. And I was like, you've had like half a beer. Like, She's also into like,
It took much.
she also was like
alcohol.
super into like worshiping Greek gods.
Oh, she sounds like she was fucking crazy.
All
Where'd you
right,
find
well,
that one?
you've said enough now.
This is the same one. I think I've talked about this on the show before. That like, so yeah, like she's crazy, and I knew she was crazy. So I kept like trying to just like, okay, like I'll keep going along with your crazy shit to see just how crazy like the sex will be.
Hey,
Great blowjob, by the way. But like my roommates hated her, rightfully so. She was absolutely out of her fucking mind. She comes in and like I had one roommate who had a subscription to Hustler Hardcore, like back when they still would mail out porn magazines.
like what's Hustler Hardcore? All right, I'm a little too young for this one because I know regular Hustler, but is like
Hustler Hardcore is a lot of just like close-ups of a
Inserted
dick going inside a butt.
into the body.
Like,
like you're pretty much like inside the vagina with Hustler Hardcore.
oh, but I mean, like it would be like, oh yeah, like oh here's a guy fucking this chick in the ass, like, and then here's a close-up picture of his dick in her butt.
Okay.
Yeah, he was an odd guy.
Show me that magazine.
Yeah, the magazines. I still got them. They're in the guest bathroom for reading material. But so
Up
we're
on the
like
top shelf,
we're
right?
having like kind of like a party, like at her house, and she finds this magazine in the bathroom, and she comes out and like chucks it at me. She's like, "Is this what you like?" And I was like, "No, it's Zane's." And she's like, "Oh, you men are so disgusting. Oh, is that what you want? Is this what you want to see?" And she starts taking all her clothes off, and just lays on
All right.
lays on the ground butt naked, and just starts like fingering herself. It's like, "Is this what you like? Is this what you fucking like? You disgusting people!" And then just like grabs her clothes, runs out of the house naked, gets in her car, and leaves. And that's when I was like,
Ballsy move,
lock
Chuck.
the
Let's
door.
see how it works out for him.
And I was like, yeah. I was like, I texted her. I was like, yeah, I don't think you need to come back by the house anymore.
If I see you in the
said
trees, I'm
that.
calling the cops.
Yeah, like fucking the bitch was wild. But not like in a fun way. Like I
Alright.
thought it was gonna be fun wild. You know, I was taking that ride, you know.
You fucking pervert!
I was yeah, it was
You
like that.
found
Like she
out.
screamed with that shit.
Found out real quick.
Yeah, like I was down for the like I was taking the ride down the crazy train, thinking that maybe
Bought
like
the
the
ticket.
last stop on the crazy train gonna be real crazy, you know. And the last stop on the crazy train was like padded room crazy.
You think you thought you were gonna be the guy
She's
fucking the chick in the
like,
ass with the close up?
And this is the same girl though who like I had never known a girl that like actually wanted it on her face during the blowjob. Like I didn't think that actually existed. Like, you know, without like having to really like get in like ask about it. So like yeah, she's doing, you know, slobbing on it, and next thing you know, like she obviously tells I'm about to like blow one. And then looking back, she obviously was like taking it out to like jerk me off on her face. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this one. And so I panic.
I mean,
thinking,
that's always the fun one.
I panic thinking that like, oh, she doesn't know. I can't like just come on her face because that'd just be rude. So like I block it with my hand and get all fucking cummy pumped. It was like the worst night of my life. I took a good blowjob and turned it weird.
Yeah, you thought way too much about it.
I did. I thought I was young. I was naive. You know, I thought way too much about it. Now, I mean, not now because I'm married and stuff, but even if it was like my wife and did that, I'd be like, guess who's getting nut in their face whether they want it or not.
Womb, I've been kicked out of psych wards for these types.
I bet. Me and Womb are like the same person. We've just been down different paths. You know, we both DG4L. You know, I just don't do the drugs. I had a happy childhood, so like I just don't get into drugs. Even though
Drugs are fun, even if you did have a happy childhood.
I know, that's just my joke around people that do a lot of drugs, just to see what they say. Most of the time, they're like, "My childhood was fine," but sometimes they're like, "Yeah, it fucked me up bad." I'm like, "Oh shit."
Right. Understandable.
Understandably. But yeah, that was a weird one. That was a weird one. Probably on the scale of like 1 to weirdest was the weirdest by far. Like after that, it's just kind of like normal weird shit. Like, yeah, chick's like, "Oh, like you want to come over to my party?" Like, yeah, sure. Like, well, you make sure you bring another girl who's like okay with like group sex. Like, I'm intrigued, but I don't have one of those girls in my phone book right now.
Oh, that was.
So I got
just out of high
disinvited
school.
because I didn't have a girl to bring to like join in whatever sex party they were having. I didn't know it was a sex party. I thought it was just a normal ass party. She was from South Carolina though, so who knows? It's fucking weird down there.
Hey, there's probably a bunch of cousins in that room.
Not my cousins, so I don't go fuck.
It's not your family that you're coming in.
No. Now if somebody else's cousins coming in each other at that party, like not my problem. You know, I'm not gonna tell people how to live their lives.
Yeah, no, we're all adults in the room.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
well,
I
if
was
it's
I was
your
I was
own
like 20,
cousins,
so I don't know.
yeah.
Like 20, like hardly counts as an adult. Like legally, you're adult, but not really.
Yeah.
Mm. I was doing some pretty crazy
Well,
shit.
especially nowadays.
Yeah.
50 years ago, 60 years ago, maybe. A little
Oh well,
bit.
like 60 years ago, you're 20. Like you've lived through World War II. Like you look 40.
Yeah. You're about to go to fucking Vietnam.
Yeah.
No, Korea. In 50s.
Korea and then Vietnam. Yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
You're on a B-52 getting ready to fireball Pyongyang.
To be fair, you could be young enough that you missed Vietnam or Korea, but you're going to be at Vietnam.
But you're gonna be the old dude at Vietnam, right?
You're gonna be like the 30-year-old.
Yeah. You're gonna be 30 at Vietnam.
Like how I'm gonna be in Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've aged out of a draft. So, but even, I don't know. We get desperate enough. 35. I don't know. How late did the draft go for Nam?
Yeah, but
World War II. I think they were just taking like, can you walk? Cool. Going to Europe.
Let's go to Germany.
But yeah, pretty wild. Man, we spun down that one real quick.
It got weird. I like that one.
But yeah, Jake, would you break up with a chick who had like a terrible orgasm face or noise? Or what if every time she came, she just ripped a terrible, terrible wet fart?
I mean, to go there, there's this one chick that, like, not to get into names, I won't mention names because I don't want to get in that kind of trouble, but she had the most unattractive face when we were having sex that I just couldn't get over it. That I really did not want to do that again, so it was like a one-hit wonder.
Was
And
she like Terry Schiavoing it?
pretty much her, like, mouth was all the way open and her eyes were rolled back and her head was kind of cranked.
Well, hey, but maybe you're just like dicking her down harder than she's had before, you know?
Oh, I guarantee I was, but, like, at the same time, it was still, like, be attractive about this. I've seen it before, all right?
Yeah. Maybe like, if you feel the need to just keep your mouth wide open, maybe bite your lip instead.
Yeah, like, do something attractive with it. Like, yeah, don't look like the prostitute who won't let you kiss him on the mouth.
Jeep and Justin. I'm the most popular guy in the drive-through right now, listening to Nooner Nation. What? Like, are you in? You're in a Jeep, like your name says. So yeah, with top off, listening to me get all cummy palmed with some batshit crazy bitch. You know.
Me talking about fucking some ugly fat chick, just like not wanting to get with that again.
Well, you didn't say she was ugly and fat. You just said she had a ugly face. Now,
Well,
like this makes more sense. If she was ugly and fat and had a weird face, I mean, that's just like there's no need to go back to that.
I know, sometimes you get desperate, you know?
But like, what about like like some chick, like some smoking hot chick, but just like some over the top like New England accent the whole time?
I think I could get over that.
Maybe because
Cause like you know that whole like real deep Southern accent kind of thing.
well, that's cute.
I know, but like I kind of see massholes as the same way.
I don't know. Southern accent, a little different than a masshole accent. But I don't know. I will say the town Blake Lively is by far the hottest Blake Lively.
I don't think I've seen The Town. Which one's that?
Have you never seen The Town with Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner where they're robbing banks in Georgetown in Boston?
No.
Hold
I
on, I've
remember
got to
the
I'm
pull
gonna have
mall.
to check that one out.
I gotta
But I
pull
don't
this one up.
remember.
Yeah, no, that one sounds really good.
People listening right now are like, "Oh my god, how do you not know The Town Blake Lively?" She's just
All right, guys. If you're mad, remember I'm 25.
I mean, the movie's well, actually, the movie might be a little. It's not 25. It's probably 10 years old. Let's see. But The Town Blake Lively, because she's just so trashy. But she's also Blake Lively, so she's hot trashy, you know?
I mean, hot trashy from the 2000s and late 90s is like really attractive.
Oh, yeah. Like short jean skirts, or yeah, jean skirts and like a crop top.
And like the whale tail riding up, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Charlie, feel
Got
free to
the-
objectify men as well. We can handle
Got
it.
the Steve Maddens on. She's just like, yeah, them little boys with their thigh huggers and their mullets.
Yeah, right.
Well, you're just
Yeah,
talking about Uncle Laser at that point.
great. And in overalls and nothing else. Oh, it's just
Joe
to
Joe
die
Dirt running the
for.
tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah,
I
Charlie,
know.
what's the slutty thing that women look for men? Like, what's a man slut to a woman?
Gray sweatpants?
I'm not that person to ask. That I'm not that female to ask. That's the only answer to that is don't fucking ask me because I am not that person.
Well, I saw a meme and it was like, this is the sluttiest thing a guy can wear. And it was like, like quarter button Henley, like long sleeve Henley shirts.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Like, I've got like probably 8 of those in my closet. I was like, am I a slut?
I mean,
Am I a man slut?
it all boils down to taste, and that boils down to person, and it's all that fun shit of
Evil
like,
Ginger's in the chat. Let's see if she knows what the.
no.
Yeah, I was gonna say, chat, what's a man slut to you? Even if you're like listening to the audio now, like DM
Yeah, DM.
one of us, all 3 of us, or the like a podcast account.
DM,
Tell
DM,
us.
DM Charlie and talk about man slutting.
I was about to say, if you DM me, I will fucking ignore you. But you
Silk,
know.
silkies and flip flops is what Beerworth said.
I mean, silkies are. What else are you gonna say to that? Like, there's no other like sluttier thing that a man can wear than silkies. To be fair,
Like thigh huggers and silkies are the slut attire.
they are so slutty, and this is the best thing because it's like fuck yeah, because it gets back to like the origins of men's short shorts in like the 70s.
Yeah, but
How
what
slutty
if
we were
they're
in the
wearing
70s.
them? Like I could wear silkies, and I don't think it looks slutty because I have tiny thighs. Like I'm a very slender
The
man.
same thing goes for women. Like a woman with tiny thighs, like Taylor Swift, could wear silkies and it not look like anything. But you put them in,
Yeah,
you
it
put
would just
them
look like
on
she's wearing
Megan Thee
pajama
Stallion,
shorts.
and you're like, God dang.
God damn. Yeah, I can see that.
Half her ass is all
Same
hanging
thing
out, just
with
like,
boys.
damn.
Kind of like Cardi B on Instagram, just like twerking all over Europe right now.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a little much for me, but
It's like
I
jacking it
still
around San
respect it.
Diego,
I still
I
respect
mean,
twerking
it.
it
it's her
around
shit,
Europe.
though. I mean, like, what else is she supposed to do? Not twerk?
Yeah, let the woman twerk.
I mean, that's like her thing. If she's not, I just see her get carried from the car to the hotel, and I'm like, that, yeah. I mean, like, fuck. Why the fuck are you gonna walk? You fucking motherfucking Cardi
Cardi
B.
B. I don't
She's
walk
so fucking
nowhere.
rich. She don't need to walk.
Yeah, exactly. And she was
Like,
like, had this like smile plaster on her face. Like,
I
yes.
can't even do a Cardi B
Yeah.
voice. There's something about her that I find annoying, but I still love it. Like she's
She's
just,
Because yeah,
Latin.
yeah. I think it's just because it's like,
she loves to get on men's
even for
nerves. That's her
being
thing.
so rich, she is still just so fucking ratchet.
She's the ghetto girl that got rich.
I know. Like I'm into it. I'm into her shit. Like her music is okay. I like Up. I'll jam out to Up.
She hasn't come out with anything in a while.
I think she just
But
came out with a new song, right?
like that
No, no,
one album of hers.
And I mean, how could you not get down on WAP? I mean, I would have played that at my wedding if it had been out.
hmm
That was a big one.
that was like probably what made her, right?
No.
Dude, the fuck? Are you shitting me?
That was the only time
But
I
maybe
heard
it
her.
Hey,
was Bodak Black or
Bodak Yellow.
but whatever the fuck.
I never really
Yeah.
heard of her till WAP came out.
She ain't got dance
Oh,
now. She
no.
make money moves.
Yeah, and then
Wasn't
it was the album with Money Moves on it and Be Careful. Oh, I fell in love with Be Careful, but that was because I had just gotten out of a relationship where I got cheated on. And I was like, this fucking song.
Man, so you're just like you're just stomping around the house like the white Cardi B.
Not stopping around the house. I was driving home
Oh.
from a fucking job at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Saw fucking swerving around the road on her
Oh.
way to the morning store to go pick up alcohol.
Yeah.
No, I went to bed immediately when I got home. I didn't do none of that bullshit. I went to fucking bed.
Cheech off. She's no Lil Kim. Yeah, that's true. But Lil Kim, hopefully Cardi B can hold herself up, better than Lil Kim kind of went
Yeah.
downhill.
I mean, look, she's great.
I think she's coming back
Cardi's
though. I
okay.
think she's like back on the come up of being like a hot hood chick again.
I don't know, dude. Never with Nicki Minaj. She defends her pedophile husband, so
Yeah, Nicki, I mean the Anaconda video, pretty awesome.
Always
But,
love Nikki.
But Nicki Minaj was just kind of turned into like the female Lil Wayne. She stopped kind of doing stuff and was just in everything.
yeah. Especially when she did a song with Tashaki, I'm like, no, that's not what you do.
Yeah.
He's dirty.
Yeah, that wasn't cool.
Is that guy still alive? Didn't he get like the shit kicked out of him in a Planet Fitness or something?
Yeah, like the bathroom or something.
Yeah, but like he also had sex with a 13-year-old or some shit like that. So it's just like, oh.
Well, you don't know
I
how
was
she was
gonna
dressed. So, I mean,
He's like that dude from Blood on the Dance Floor, just like, all right, dude, just stop.
yeah.
Gross.
Have any of you started watching the Idol on HBO?
I watched the
No.
first 2-3 episodes, but then like what? It's already done at like 5 episodes, and it wasn't supposed to be.
That's what I figured. I haven't watched it because I figured I haven't heard enough about it either way. So it's like, I'm guessing it's probably not terrible, but it's also not good. So I'm not going to waste my time on it.
The first episode was interesting because it did give and I guess I kind of talked about this on RPR today, is like Entourage, like they give you kind of like a background look into the entertainment world. And so the first episode was kind of like that, of like having all these people around you when you're a star. And then it was just kind of like, where the fuck is this show going? What's the point?
Isn't it Johnny Depp's daughter?
Yeah.
Yes. And so the first 2 episodes are wild, but you're kind of like, I still have no idea where this show is trying to go. It's interesting. I'm watching it, but I don't know the point.
Yeah.
And then it was cut short, and it's just kind of like, well, now I don't really want to even give more of my time to it
Yeah.
since it's not going anywhere.
It's one of those things I figure like maybe if I'm bored on a plane or something, download it.
Yeah, like the first, like I said, the first two episodes, I was all in because I was entertained by it, kind of like how I was with Game of Thrones, because at first you're kind of like, what the fuck is this? It's kind of sexy. I don't really know what the fuck it's doing, but I'm
And
gonna
like again, it
continue
wasn't
watching.
sexy. There was just a lot of sex in it.
A lot of fucking, from what I've heard.
Have you not seen
A lot
Game
Yes,
of
of
with
fucking.
Game
Thrones
of
either?
Thrones,
Come on, man.
there was a lot of sex, but
Was there
with
full
the
penetration?
idol, it's a lot less gore and it's a lot more sexiness,
Oh.
especially since it's supposed to be a I don't even know who like what kind of girl you could um, compare her to in like right now. Like I would say Miley Cyrus, but she's someone that's a little bit more bold than Miley Cyrus, I guess you would say, at least in like the public eye.
Oh. Britney
Um,
Spears.
no, way more bold. I mean, like I don't know, she got jizzed on, like some dude jizzed on her face and took a picture and then posted it. And that's like the
Oh.
Lady
first
Gaga.
minute of the
Jennifer
show.
Hudson. Or not Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Lawrence. Didn't she do that? Did
I
some
think
leaks.
Maybe it's
that
just
was
like a
Photos leaked.
combination of all of them, like Miley Cyrus, Jennifer Lawrence,
well, I
all
thought
of
a lot
them.
of that happened in the fappening,
Yeah.
like the photos that were not supposed to be leaked to other
So
people.
what? She like got cum on her face and like posted the picture?
The guy, whoever the guy was, did.
Huh.
Whoever took the photo did. So she didn't. Um, so she's out there. She's sexy. She does crazy stuff. She's mentally unstable, and they're like, "Are we sexualizing mental instability?" And
Sounds
like
like
Oh my
somebody.
God, she's a woman in 2023.
I know.
the
Sounds like
producer
somebody
lady was
Jake would
like,
probably
"Of course
be
we are."
into.
She's
Well,
exactly someone I would be into. She sounds like some of the girls that I meet off Tinder that I like fall in love with for a week and start
yeah.
posting sad shit on my story because they like,
Yes, and
yeah.
it does an interesting view of like people using that, like producers and music executives, like using that of like, yes, we're going to use all of these awful things you've gone through for monetary gain. This is
Oh,
all
so they're
going towards
Scientologists.
us. I mean, they don't come out and say that, but like to be fair, all these
The
people
show's
in
probably made by
Hollywood,
them.
a lot of them are part of that, so it's like, well,
Yeah. See, don't trust the
it goes
Scientologists.
hand in hand.
We just.
They just can't outright say that because they're all Scientologists and they're
Yeah.
not going to shit on their own organization like
True.
that.
We just binge watched the first 5 episodes of the new season of The Witcher.
Ooh, how's that?
Good. I mean, it's good. Not nearly enough titties in it, but what do you do?
They've put less and less, like the more popular it gets, the less titties
Mhm.
and all that stuff are putting in it. So, like,
I-
I already didn't like it because of that. And then, of course, changing Henry Cavill is just
Yeah,
kinda
like a bummer. I will say, for me and my wife talk about this, the chick that plays Yennefer in that is like gorgeous, like insanely gorgeous, and she gets like
Yennefer.
no play like in the public.
nobody cares about her, right?
Like,
Like,
how's
in
nobody care about like this
press
is like
and
this
everything.
is like one of the hottest chicks on the planet. How's nobody talking about this chick?
But she's probably having her cake and eating it too because of that. Because she
No one's
gets
being weird to her yet.
exactly. So it's
Like,
probably better.
have you ever looked at the comments on a Jenna Ortega post? They're like really creepy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, she's also younger though, so there's also that.
Yeah, that's
But
creepy. We're gonna end on that creepy note. So.
yeah,
So, anyways, like I said at the top of the show, guys, rate and review on iTunes, like and subscribe on YouTube, go to Spotify, hit the 5-star button, and yeah, leave a review. We need more reviews. Leave a review on this show, and talk about how you enjoyed me trying to stick my dick in crazy. It didn't work out for me, so you know.
Thankfully, it didn't.
I don't
since-
know. Maybe there was still part of me. It's like maybe I just give her one more shot. I mean, her taking her
Still
clothes
always be
off and
fun.
like banging herself on the floor was kind of hot. It was also kind of weird and creepy, and I thought she might have been possessed. Started to think maybe she was on drugs. Like I just didn't know it, but
Got that bathtub Adderall.
I mean,
bitch is
at
on
this
bath
point,
salts.
We'll never know. We can only speculate.
That bitch is on crank.
Damn, their bathtub Adderall.
But yeah,
Zero Dragons!
right to the crazy chicks. I should what the dry humping in jeans should have been probably the flag that got me out of there. But I was like, that shit's crazy. How crazy does it get when the jeans come off? So I'll ride your roller coaster, bitch, just to see where this ends. And it ended in disaster.
A
So
lot of
Fucking red flags like you're at a carnival there, buddy.
yeah, well, colorblind. What do you do? Red flags are just there to flag me down. Kind of like those like inflatable waving arm things you see at like car washes and car dealerships.
I'm there with you.
Yeah,
I know.
Just there to get your attention.
yeah.
Right?
I mean, who wants to be with a normal person?
Not me. Fuck.
Boring. It's like
so far, it's not working. So it's
like
kinda
like you want to go to fucking Magnolia in Waco? Like, pfft, boring. Like,
Well,
you
let's
want
go do coke on 6th Street.
you want to see how many shots of Fireball you can baby bird in my mouth before you try to stab me? Like, now that's a Saturday. So, anyways, for Charlie, for Jake, I'm Bill. This is the Nooner Nation. Good.